Good evening, sir.
Okay? Go find the mayor if you can and stay out of trouble. And steal nothing unless it's information.
Of course.
Hosea, you go find us someplace to rob. Bill, go make us some new friends. I'm gonna find out if old Cornwall and what's his name, Milton, knows we're here. Gentlemen, be well.
Champagne, sir?
Well, hello, gentlemen. Featherstone Chambers. Pleased to meet you.
Heston Jameson.
What a beautiful evening.
Sure.
This is quite a town that you have here, Mr. Jameson.
Oh, I don't live here. I was here for the poker.
Oh, you play?
It's my weakness, my worst vice.
Perhaps you should have it whipped out of you like you advocate whipping the sin out of others.
Not whipping, sir, working, and besides, my vice is between me and my maker. I keep winning.
Every gambler says that, Mr. Jameson.
Yes, I know, but like I said, the next big tournament, which I will not be attending, is for a game too rich for my blood. I may be a knave, but I am a sensible knave.
That's so.
Oh, sure, I'm not a wealthy man. I run a prison. The old riverboat tournaments are for card sharks and rich fools. A really big stakes game attracts oilmen and such, like, from all over. My pockets are not deep enough for that.
You are a wise man.
I'm a conservative man, at least.
The fact is, since the war, the government has done an awful job of preserving law and order, Mr. Jameson.
I agree, Major. Well, at my prison, we are doing the best to remedy that failing. You know, my friend works in the Caribbean. He faces real rebellion. If we don't act decisively, we will endure the same here, and all of this, all of these garden parties and civility, they will be doomed. I believe in civilizing the masses, sir. But the first order of civilization is order. Law and order.
I agree.
Without law and order, we will have anarchy.
But with too much law and order, won't we have dictatorship or worse? Monarchy.
The law should be a dictator. That is the American way.
I thought the American ideal was liberty.
Sure, liberty under the law.
Very interesting.
Major Crowley, Mr. Chambers, I must go speak to someone for a second.
What a vulgar toad of a man. But that riverboat sounds interesting.
Good evening.
Oh, the eavesdropper. I had to get away from that awful Major Crowley pontificating on law and order. You should see my prison. That's what law and order looks like.
Hopefully as a visitor, not as an inmate.
Indeed. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
Oh, that's all very well, but my job...
Did you hear him back there? The law should be a dictator?
I wasn't really listening.
Lucky for you. And as for that other fella, Featherstone Chambers, what a windbag he is.
He did seem full of himself.
Anyway.
Mr. Chambers?
What are you loitering around me for? Mingle, dear boy. Have you tracked down the mayor yet?
Not yet. Any chance?
Good evening, sir. Alfred Lafond. Gilbert Knightley.
Hello, sir.
You French, sir? Sort of. Original. I'm from Quebec, but I left many moons ago. And you?
Oh, no. I came down from New York for a job. I'm a banker.
A banker?
An investment banker.
You're the fellows who never lend me money when I need it. And when I've got too much, try to lend me more.
And what do you do, Mr. LaFawn?
Originally furs, but now all sorts. Lumber, leather, even maple syrup. My partners and I represent more like 23% of all the trade heading south from Quebec into the U.S.
And who do you bank with?
Oh, the usual bunch of clowns in New York.
Do you bank with anyone in the South?
Not one I particularly like.
Well, have you considered Lemoyne National Bank?
Oh, I need a big bank, sir. We borrow a lot of money and generate a lot of cash. Some nervous small-town bank could finish us in a bad year.
Small town? We handle more cash and cash equivalents than any bank south of Manhattan, including St. Louis. Almost all the Caribbean trade banks with us. We work with all the remaining cotton growers in the U.S. who still use a lot of cash, and we help finance half the reconstruction projects after the war. We love big clients, and we love cash. Our branch alone here in town has more cash reserves on site than any bank in the entire country outside Wall Street in San Francisco.
Well, perhaps we could discuss it further one day, Mr. Knightley. When it comes to bankers, I drive a hard bargain, but I'm very fair in business.
I would at least like the opportunity to show you our business.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go find my fiancée.
Of course. And congratulations. A wife is a wonderful thing.
I think I saw you earlier.
Yes, you were talking to that blowhard, Alfred LaFawn.
Ah, you know him. Are his money interests as large as he made out?
Oh, very much so.
Interesting. Well, thank you. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
How's your evening going?
Met some interesting people. What about you? Did you speak to the mayor?
I'm still looking for him.
Well, look a little harder.
Can I help you, sir? Well, I'm not quite sure yet. Albert Daniels. Bryn Tilden. This is Mr. Hector Fellows. Well, it's nice to meet the both of you. New suit? Yeah. No, it's a new shirt. Are you new in town? Yes. I come from the west. The north. The northwest. Okay. I came down from Washington myself many years ago.
This town gets to a man, undermines even the best of us.
I'm doing my best, sir.
Truth is an absolute, son. Don't you think?
Well, I don't quite understand.
Well, you are not, it would seem, the only one.
I was in the Army once.
Good for you.
What do you do now? Well, I'm not quite, I'm an American. Yes, but what do you do? Well, I'm in between jobs at the moment. Oh, of course.
You shall be too, sir, if you don't sharpen up your morality.
I'm trying, sir. I'm trying.
Well, try harder. Much harder.
What would you like me to do? To hit the mayor myself?
Impudence. I see you still got that. But it takes more than a steady line and insults to succeed in newspapers. At least in mine. Good evening.
Freak.
Hi there.
Self-righteous know-it-all.
Excuse me?
Oh, not you. Hector Fellows. I thought you overheard our conversation. He pays me to be the editor of that newspaper, but he pokes his nose in at every turn. He thinks morality is unbiased, but it is quite the opposite. I'm sorry. I'm wrecked.
Not at all. How are you?
So hard these days to find men of true morals, especially in journalism.
Indeed, it is.
And you certainly won't find many here. How do you think they got so rich? Well, anyway, enjoy your evening.
Enjoying yourself?
You know, I think those fellas were making fun of me. Anyway, what you found out?
Nothing too much yet.
I'll be glad when this is over.
You okay?
Oh, my lord. The pesky nut. What a way to go, eh? Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, yes. Thank you. Algernon Wasp.
Hello. Tacitus Kilgore.
Hello, Mr. Kilgore. What is it that you do?
I'm an adventurer.
Oh, me too. Pursuer of the exotic and the remarkable. An aesthete in this land of commonplace heathens. My card, sir. Pay me a visit in my atelier. I must just go and purge. I intend to stay thin until I pass away. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Thank you again, my fellow adventurer. And please, do pay me a visit at my atelier.
I'll try to.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay away from the nuts would be my advice. Still use a lot of cash to succeed in newspaper finance.
We love cash. Our branch alone here in town has more cash reserves on site than any bank in the entire country, outside Wall Street and San Francisco.
Well, perhaps we could discuss it further one day, Mr. Knightley. When it comes to bankers, I drive a hard bargain.
You okay? Oh, my lord! The pesky nut! What a way to go, eh? Oh, thank you, sir. Yes, thank you. Algernon Wasp.
Hello, Ruprecht O'Keefe.
Well, hello, Mr. Keith. And pray tell me, what do you do?
I'm a shopkeeper.
Me too! Oh, is quite the pursuer of the exotic and the remarkable. Quite an atelier. An aesthete in this land of commonplace heathens. My card, sir. Pay me a visit at my shop. I must go and purge. I intend to stay thin until I pass away. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. Stay well.
Hi there.
Good Lord, did you see that poor fellow? Everyone just standing there while he choked to death.
He's fine, isn't he?
Well, yes, thanks to me.
Well, maybe the mayor will give you a medal.
There's no need to be so facetious.
Wise man.
I mean, modern art is all very well, but my daughter could do better.
much a Philistine as all that, Marie.
No, I am quite that much of a Philistine. Besides which, Monsieur Châtenay, he is a two-bit charmer. Only the most foolish of women would fall for his nonsense.
Oh, that's quite unfair. I found him delightful. In that French sort of way. He reminds me of someone in a book by Balzac.
He reminded me of a hobgoblin, a spellcaster.
You're very unkind, Marie.
I am honest. Where is that waiter? I need more champagne.
Oh, me too.
How is your husband, Dolores?
I hear he is much improved. He's in Tunis, I believe. I do wish he'd hurry up and die.
Tuberculosis is a strange disease.
Under the wall.
Very interesting.
Major Crowley, Mr. Chapin.
Would you like some champagne?
Of course. Thank you, sir. You are quite the gentleman. Clearly not from this swampy hellhole.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies, I'll see you.
Interesting.
Hello.
Ma'am?
Thank you for the champagne. I'm glad there's still some gentlemen left around here.
Well, I hate to see a lady with an empty glass.
Not like that horrible man on the balcony, Mr. Bronte.
Oh, yes?
Why he gets pride of place is beyond me.
Well, I've heard he's a very generous benefactor to the city.
Dirty money. Anyway, don't get me started.
Huh. Ma'am?
Hello.
Thank you again for the champagne.
You're welcome. So, how do you know the mayor?
Oh, I don't really. It's just another party, and I get invited to parties.
Ah, I see.
Oh, very boring, really. Hence the need for copious amounts of champagne.
Evening, ma'am.
How do you
Good
do?
evening. A question for you, sir. Are you familiar with the work of Charles Châtenay?
No, sorry, can't say I am.
Oh, well, not to worry. I do encourage you to view some of his pieces. Very provocative. I leave you to your evening.
You're walking away from history, you fool! Women and men both deserve to decide the future. This is meant to be the land of liberty, but somehow I am not free to vote.
You are...
Look me in the eye and tell me in all honesty that I am not the equal of any man you've ever met.
You're preaching again, Mrs. Wicklow.
And you're burying your head in the sand again, sir.
Don't blame me for God's mistakes, if they were mistakes.
What do you mean?
Women are inferior to men, madam. It's not my fault. It's a fact. Undeniable. Demonstrable. I will not deny it simply because of fashion.
I'm intrigued, sir, to hear your arguments.
I am your clear superior.
You're different, but you're neither my better nor my inferior, sir.
Okay, madam. I will not prove it by publicly thrashing you.
Well, you're stronger than me, sure. But as civilized beings? Haven't we moved past that? Apparently not. Good evening to you, sir. I will go find some other people to threaten to hit me. If that's okay with you, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
I mean, did you hear what that man said? Inferior. Do you think women should have the vote?
Oh, I don't care. I've never voted anyway.
Well, that's no better. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I'm still furious with that oath.
How are you?
Hello, sir. Enjoying the party?
So far, so good.
I think I saw you before when I was talking to that awful Dorothea Wicklow. Men and women, equals? Is she insane? Send an army of women into battle, see how far we get.
Oh, I know some pretty tough women.
Ah, just what I need, a sympathizer. Well, good evening to you. Enjoy what's left of your manhood.
Camilla McClare, wherever did you get that?
Why, that would be telling.
Oh, you. You're always so stylish.
I try. Mostly I fail, but I try.
It really is a beautiful hair.
I got it from Mr. Wasp. He's the finest milliner in the state and quite the most interesting purveyor of the exotic. But don't tell anyone, sir. The women here are all desperate to know.
How do you do, ma'am?
Hello there. Still admiring my hat, I see.
No? Not really.
A man can appreciate fine ladies' millinery. There's no shame in it.
Sure, guess.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Sounding good, fellas.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Get me a bloody drink, will you? A small one. Just big enough for me to swim lengths in, you know?
Yes, madam.
You know what? Great fuck, I'm drunk. You know, I used to be a great beauty. And an even greater wit. Time. What a total bastard it is, huh? And again, I always loved bastards. The real ones, I mean. Wedlock. Hugely overrated. I tried it enough. Well, I tried both. You know, bastards and marriage. I even married a bastard. It didn't work out so good. Oh my God. I should not have got up this morning. I need to go and sit down and have a little rest. I'm just gonna... Is anybody listening to me? I know I look like a drunken harlot, but let me be very clear, young man. I am a drunken harlot.
Is between me and my maker.
I apologize for that woman, sir. The last thing she needs is more champagne.
Hey, if she's having a good time.
I'm not sure she is, sir.
Well,
Always happening.
that's so.
How do you do?
Of course, I'm married, Miss Tweedy. But marriage is more business than romance.
And you're romantic, are you, Miss Toxville?
Always have been. A true romantic. A dreamer. Why don't you let me show you someday?
And you think my cousin would appreciate that demonstration?
Your cousin is a cold woman. I'm a very lonely man.
And I am more than someone's blanket against the night's chill. Good evening, Mr. Hawksbill. Please stop pestering me.
Madam, I am not the shell of cat I appear, sir. I love that woman.
Good luck with that. How are you?
I really do love Miss Tweedy. It isn't just the champagne talking. Have you ever married the wrong woman, sir?
No. But I ain't married the right one either.
Well, I've made quite a habit of it.
How was the show? I heard you went.
Outrageous. These dancers. Well, if that's French culture for you, sign me up for French lessons. Oh, would you like tickets?
What?
This cabaret show at the Theatre Romoor. It's jolly fun.
Sure. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Good evening. Well.
Sir?
Hello? Hot tickets, those. Don't lose them.
So, why'd you give them to me?
Oh, I'm more of an opera man myself. Figured someone else should enjoy them.
Appreciate it.
I'd grab a drink if I was you. The fireworks should be starting soon.
Good evening.
I hope you enjoy that show. Sounds a little bawdy and lowbrow for my taste.
But not for mine?
Oh, I'm sure it's lots of fun. Who am I to judge?
Exactly.
Well, anyway, don't let me keep you.
Oh, would you like tickets?
What?
This cabaret show at the Theatre Romoor. It's jolly fun.
Nah. Good evening.
Having fun?
I'm trying.
I'm bored out of my mind. When are the fireworks going to start?
I've no idea.
All right. Well, try to enjoy yourself.
Evening, sir.
How do you do?
know you.
I don't think so. Tacitus Kilgore.
What an extraordinary name. I'd remember that. Fitzhubert Hardy Burt. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Enjoy your evening.
Mister?
The truth is, since the war, the country's doomed itself.
I disagree. The war? The war was 30 years ago. I was just a boy, and since then we have fought more wars, and we will fight more again.
Now, the country tore itself apart.
And what do you think, sir?
I think war is a fine way of thinning the herd.
Exactly. This man is a realist.
I cannot believe I am hearing this. Excuse me.
Sometimes, sir, the innocent are the damned. Enjoy your evening. I must go see my wife.
Good evening. How are you?
I must apologize for Manosby back there. Nice fellow, but his views are a little, well, feminine.
Apologize to your wife, not me.
Yes, very good.
Hi there.
I'm sorry, but you can't be serious. That war is preferable to peace?
That's not what I've said.
It is sad times we live in.
Hello there.
The truth is, since the war, the country's doomed itself.
I disagree. The war? The war was 30 years ago. I was just a boy, and since then we have fought more wars, and we will fight more again.
Now, the country tore itself apart.
The country don't even exist. We exist. And my family? Well, they did well out of the war.
My family lost a generation of men,
and my family made a fortune. Fact is, war is good for business. For most business.
You have no honor, sir.
Oh, don't be like that, Mannersby. Honor is a made-up idea people use to get others to fight for them.
I do believe, sir, you are a cynic.
I hope so, Mannersby. I really do.
I think I have heard just about enough.
Sometimes, sir, the innocent are the damned. Enjoy your evening. I must go see my wife.
Good evening. Evening, ma'am.
So, anyway, I heard that Judith Hawksbill has taken a lover.
Of course she has. That slippery fool has had that coming for years.
But that's not the interesting part. What's interesting is that her lover is a Pole.
A Pole?
A Russian. Something like that.
Like a Jew?
Oh, not that bad, but nearly.
Hello?
Excuse us, sir. We are having a private conversation.
Forgive me, ladies. I am new in town.
Excuse me, both of you, but I must just go speak with my husband a moment.
Her husband. He's an even worse tomcat. But let's just keep that between ourselves. Good evening, sir. Enjoy your stay in Saint-Denis.
Hello there.
You know, I swear, half the men in here are dipping their quill in another inkwell. Which means half the women are, too.
Yeah. Must be something in the champagne.
Well, gives us something to talk about.
Hello, ma'am.
If you heard what I said about Europeans, I hope it didn't offend you. It's mainly their politics I can't stand.
Not at all. I worked with an Irishman. He was a terrible person.
It takes all my gumption to sleep with Frederick here, and he's as capitalist as they come.
So, anyway, I heard that Judith Hawksbill has taken a lover.
Of course she has. That slippery fool has had that coming for years.
But that's not the interesting part. What's interesting is that her lover is a Pole.
A Pole?
A Russian. Something like that.
Like a Jew?
Oh, not that bad, but nearly.
Oh, how could she make love to a European? It's disgusting. I never have.
I know. Next thing she'll be discussing socialism.
I can only imagine. Will you please excuse me, Emmeline? I must just go speak with my husband a moment.
How do you do, ma'am?
Are you enjoying the party? How do you know the mayor?
I don't. I'm actually hoping to meet him.
He's definitely around. I just saw him. A man in demand.
I'm sure.
French sort of way.
Wouldn't want to see you again. This intellectual here was just insulting me regarding the Redskins.
I did no such thing. But, Mr. Lemuel, I suggested that all of us, as Americans, had a duty to take care of people living in this land. And that extends to Saint-Denis.
But, Mr. Miller, the Indian problem is not an urban problem, but a rural problem. And here in Saint-Denis, we have problems of our own.
I beg to differ, sir. It is not a rural problem, but a human problem. An American problem. We want to end this century yet more besmirched. Blood and guilt because of more sins? Do we wish to better ourselves? I'd hope the latter.
As of course do I. But things are more complex in the matters of men than in the heads of the intellectuals.
What is wrong with you?
It ain't complex, MU. And only an idiot like you, buddy, would try to make it so.
I will not deny idiocy, sir, but perhaps now is not the time.
Typical pansy.
You are drunk, Ferdinand.
I'm not drunk, you fool. But this man loves darkies.
Hey, you are pretty drunk. Yeah, hey, what say you and me cool off?
Hello?
Get your hands off me. Come on, sleep it off. Sit down and calm down. Count to 1,000. Then you can rejoin the party.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Henri Lemieux. I hope you're enjoying my party.
The mayor.
Allegedly.
That's quite a place you got here.
It's not mine, and the city is horribly in debt, but we can still put on a good show. Do you know Evelyn Miller?
My lord. The writer?
Well, we seem to have another deranged drunkard on our hands.
Shall we?
Oh, my lord, they're fantastic.
Excuse me, pardon. Monsieur, please. Mr. Cornwall was quite insistent, I'm afraid. He shouted down the telephone for several minutes.
Mr. Cornwall is a horse's ass, and a bad horse.
I'm very sorry, sir.
It's not your fault. I'm a fool for trusting him. I'll come in and sign it in a minute. Let me enjoy the fireworks.
Of course.
Did he say something about Cornwall? Yes. Find out what. Sure.
Bonjour, monsieur.